What's up?
Welcome back to my ultimate guide on how to survive Coachella. I mean, how to thrive at Coachella. If you missed part 1, check it out. We go over 21 things you need to know before going to Coachella and some pro tips for when you're inside the actual festival. I don't know what that was. But today we are going to hash out a long-running debate, an age-old argument, a legendary feud, the long-standing rivalry of Coachella camping versus Airbnb/hotel. And if you're new here, what's good? It's your girl Jacqueline, Jax, Jackie, I've got all the nicknames. But I make music festival and rave content, lifestyle content,
and sometimes I vlog my random adventures and hobbies of a 20-something-year-old trying to figure out life.
So if that's your vibe, hit the like button and, I don't know, subscribe. Anyway, you came here for the Coachella tips and info, so let's get right into it. Okay, let's talk about Coachella Airbnb first. So let's get into the pros and the cons. The first Coachella Airbnb pro that everyone is like, it's obvious, real bathrooms. Yes, you get the comfort of getting to go into a nice clean bathroom, a nice clean shower. We know the drill. Another Coachella Airbnb pro is the AC. We know it's really hot in the desert, so cranking the AC is absolutely a plus. Another pro is a real bed. After a long day of festivaling, Coachella-ing, you get to go home and be in a nice, comfy, real bed. So the last 3 pro tips we just talked about, I realized it all came down to comfort.
Airbnb, you get all the comfort that you need. You have everything that you need, that you want. Yeah.
Another pro about Coachella Airbnbs or hotels is the privacy. So you're not at camp with, a lot of strangers or, people that you don't know. That's the definition of strangers, that could potentially go into your campsite and take things. Although I've never had a problem with that, and you should be locking up your valuables. Okay, all right, I'll save the Coachella camping stuff for when it's Coachella camping's turn. You get the privacy. Obviously, it's literally just you and your group in your Airbnb or hotel. Following that it's a little more peaceful. Like, you're not in the hustle and bustle of camp. It's less chaotic. Don't get me wrong, you can definitely get lit at the Airbnb, if you're with the right group and it's like, right when we wake up, shots. But again, it's just the fact you're not gonna be with other groups that are doing the same thing with your chaoticness. You have your own shell and your own bubble of chaoticness. This is what happens when I don't prepare a script and I just freeball it. Another pro is a kitchen and a fridge. You have all the amenities that you need to make your breakfast in the morning and maybe your late night dinner after you get back. My last Coachella Airbnb pro is that it feels more like a vacation. So instead of, feeling like you're fighting for your life, but I love it. Okay, Coachella car camping's turn, sorry. Stop it. But if your group books a nice Airbnb, it'll definitely feel more like a vacation/festival. So it's pretty cool to go to the festival, and then get back, and it's like you're on a vacation with all your friends, which is really dope. Like, you might have a pool, you might have, really aesthetic and like boho chic kitchen area. Okay, actually, this is my last Coachella Airbnb pro. So even though you have your own Airbnb, you can still visit the campgrounds. Actually, anyone with any ticket can go visit the campgrounds. So you can go and like pregame with some other homies, or you can go afterwards to hit up silent disco, and then you get to go back to your peaceful abode at the Airbnb. Let's move on to the Airbnb cons. So first, it is more expensive. Okay, so this is a little debatable, but I personally think it is. I haven't crunched the numbers, so forgive me, but I asked chat, what's the average cost of an Airbnb around Coachella Music Festival during Coachella? The results are in. So it typically says that it's listed at $9.20 per night, and in contrast, during the off season, the same property was available for about $30 per night. So of course, people will jack up the prices because they know that a lot of people are coming in for Coachella. And I think that people think whoever goes to Coachella is like automatically rich. Okay, no, not that I think, I know. I might insert some receipts right here because I've gotten so much crap for being rich for going to Coachella every year on my TikTok. So it's wild. I even made a video addressing it. It was that wild on how many comments I got. And I have people in my comments fighting about whether I'm rich, whether I'm poor. People are having a who's poor contest, and I just want to address this. Then I took it a step further because I thought maybe asking chat isn't accurate enough. I went to Airbnb's website. I typed in the dates from Friday before the festival starts Yeah, wait. Oh, I didn't do enough days. Okay, well, let's just say we're checking in April 11th and we're checking out, that's Friday, and then we're checking out on Monday morning. So you can see here I have around the map, it's like 2,000, about 4,000, 3,000. It's a little scattered, but here, let's look at this actual home. So this is on the nicer end. We're getting an entire home, 10 guests, and it's gonna be pretty much $6,000 for Friday through Monday. So you actually need to tack on another night. But if we're just going by these 3 nights, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, we're gonna take 59.65 divided by 3 nights. It's 19.88 per night. Let's take it a step further. How about divided by 10 people? Okay, so you're paying about $200 per person per night. So if we times that by 3 per person, everyone's paying $600. Comment below if you'd like to see a separate video on how much it costs to Coachella Car Camp versus how much it costs to Coachella Airbnb. I know it won't be the exact numbers, but it'll give you a rough idea. I'm just kind of bullshitting right now, but yeah, I think it'd be fun to actually crunch the numbers and, like, you know, we have a grocery list and all that stuff. So comment below and let me know if you'd like to see that. But let's take it a step further and check out something smaller. Like Jax, it's just me and my boo and my other friend couple. It's like 4 of us. We need something small. Something on the smaller, cheaper end would be this. It's actually an apartment and it's gonna run you, again, I didn't change the date, but this is from Friday through Sunday night. So let's say $1,890 divided by 3 nights. So it's $630 a night. And then if you're splitting that amongst 2 people, a couple, because this is actually for 2 guests only, it's only 1 bedroom, but you know, you can get in where you can fit in, right? So for 2 people, it's going to be $315 per person per night, or let's just say you're going with 4 people, then it's going to be $157 per person per night. So there's a cheaper way around it for sure, but let's take it a step further. So I also looked up the cheapest option, and this would definitely be just for a couple or for 1 person, and you're gonna see this a lot if you're looking up Coachella Airbnbs. A lot of people rent out the room in their actual home. So that actually counterproducts, that backtracks all the pros I said about privacy and comfort, and like if you're sharing a kitchen, that's not the best vibe. Pre-gaming is not the best vibe. So honestly, this would be a great option if, again, you are solo Coachellaing, or if it's you, like you're a couple and you literally just want somewhere to lay your head at night, and then just, you know, get up, go early, and then go to maybe a friend's campsite, or just go to the campgrounds and make friends and like pre-game and stuff like that. You can do that as well. So this is a room, right? And again, I didn't adjust the dates, but for Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night, you're gonna pay $1,038. And if you divide that by 3 nights, you're basically paying $346 per night. So still more expensive than a 1-car camping pass that fits 4 people. Another con is limited availability. So right now we are in late February and you're looking for a spot, good luck. People start planning out their Airbnbs like a year in advance. Like right after they attended Coachella 2025, they're already looking for Coachella 2026. Another con is that you have to Uber, shuttle, or drive to the venue. So, I mean, it depends. If you did get an Airbnb that's like walking distance, I've seen videos of people who literally snagged an Airbnb a 10-minute walk from the venue. That is like the best case scenario, but I will say it's gonna run you for your money a little bit. And then another con that leads me to my next one is that you're more likely to arrive late to the festival. So it's not impossible, you can absolutely get there early if you wake up early, but let's just say you get up, you're with your group, you're vibing, you're pre-gaming, you're getting ready, and not everyone is ready, so you gotta wait for some people because you want to take the same Uber, and then now you're stuck in traffic, and then now you're late. So it's more likely for you to be late to the festival. Another con I wrote down is limited social interactions. So you can't make new friends in your Airbnb. It could be a pro to some people versus the campsite. Okay, again, gotta wait for Coachella Camping's turn. But again, you do have the ability with a wristband to enter the campgrounds and go to silent disco, but that also leads me to another con. If you do that, now you're getting home to your Airbnb late. So, you know, instead of the people who are camping, you know, I'm about to segue to camping, so I might as well talk about it. Instead of the people that are camping, that are at Silent Disco, having a blast with you, after y'all split ways, you gotta get to the Uber or to your car or to the shuttle to then take you home, versus the people that are camping just get to walk a few steps and are back at camp. Now let's get into Coachella camping pros.
Or Coachella car camping specifically.
First one, it's more affordable. We already kind of did a breakdown of the pricing. Again, let me know if you want a deep dive video about like how much it costs for me to Coachella car camp. I'd love to make that video for you. Another pro is that you get an extra day of Coachella. Okay, so for my first timers, there's something in the Coachella community called Day Zero, which is Thursday when you get there to camp. So you have a whole extra day. At the end of the night, we have something called Not So Silent Disco, where you don't have the headphones, they're just blasting the music, and it's just a blast. Another pro are the campground activities. So you've got activities like yoga, clay making, bracelet making, thrift, like they have like clothes where you can literally like put together an outfit if you like, and like other games like dodgeball. Another pro about camping is you have the ability to potentially get upgraded to VIP. So the campgrounds will host games like a scavenger hunt where, you know, everyone has to look for a list of things, and then whoever is the first one back gets 2 VIP upgrades. I've also seen the winner of dodgeball will get an upgrade to VIP, so that's really cool. Another Coachella car camping pro is just the culture, like the vibe, like I'm so excited. Another pro we talked about earlier is Silent Disco. So you literally just get to go and keep the party going when the festival ends at 1 a.m. ish, and then you get to just walk a few steps back to your campsite. Probably my favorite Coachella car camping pro is making new friends. So it's just so fun going and setting up your campsite. You're next to a whole bunch of other friend groups that are doing the exact same thing. You mingle. It's just like the reciprocity. So I'm going back into like the Coachella car camping culture, but like I just love sharing and the reciprocity of like, hey, you got a fork, okay great, do you have ketchup? And like just having neighbors and like waking up and being there. It's just so fun. Another camping pro is that there are ins and outs for food. So let's just say you're in the festival and you're hungry, you want a glizzy or something, and you can literally just walk back to your campsite, make it real quick, and then walk back in. So again, it helps with your budget and like your cost for the actual event, rather than, you know, not having access to your campground because you got an Airbnb and now you have to buy all your food there. But that's not really necessarily a bad thing too. Coachella does have really good food, but again, it just depends. Like if you are a 3 meal a day type of person, or even 2, you know, you can go back to the campsite and save you a couple of bucks. Another Coachella camping pro is literally the in and out for clothes. So if you don't know, it gets pretty chilly at night, especially in the desert. You know, it's like there's not a lot of, you know what, I don't even know the science to it. Let me not act.
Okay, we're doing an outfit change because these boots were killing me. So this is not the outfit yet, but I'll show you.
But it gets chilly, okay? It gets chilly, it gets windy, so you can literally walk back to camp, grab a jacket, and then you're good to go. Or honestly, outfit changes. How about that? You could literally maximize if you are like, you know, a fashion girly, or, you know, you want to get more pics for the gram. You can literally go back and have a night outfit. Another pro tip is you are more prone to getting to the festival early. That leads me to not having to Uber, shuttle, or drive anywhere. So especially if, you know, you want to drink and you want to be a little tipsy, you don't have to worry about who's gonna drive or the Uber or the shuttle lines or what have you. Again, it's just a walk. Another pro is that you get to drop off your merch, so in case, you know, you have things like you don't necessarily need to buy a locker there. And comparing the pro of the Airbnb to like being a vacation vibe, this one is more of a party vibe. Again, I'm not saying you can't party and get super lit at the Airbnb. That's always super fun. But when you're at the campgrounds, like it's just a non-stop 24/7 hour party, it feels like. And if some people, you know, want to be chill and peaceful over here, you can absolutely find those areas. And then you can also find the areas where people are getting lit and making new friends and walking around, exploring, and all of that. My last Coachella pro is that it's a unique experience. I mean, you never know who you're gonna meet. You don't know who is gonna be your neighbors. It's just such a unique experience, and you get to really bond and like really get close with whoever you came with, and even get close with people that you met. So I love that. Now what everyone that's on the Airbnb side has been waiting for, the Coachella car camping cons. So I mean, it's not that that bad to me anyways, but I'll let you be the judge of that. So con number one, there's no real bathrooms. You're gonna have to go in the porta potties. And again, we're talking about general admission car camping. So you're gonna have to go in a porta potty. Another con is it is really hot. So you tend to wake up from the heat. Like you're gonna wake up at like 7 a.m. I mean, it really depends on the individual, but you're most likely gonna wake up sweating. Another con is battery supply. Oh, I guess I could have put that in the Airbnb pros, that you have like endless power, but for Coachella camping, you have limited battery supply, but it also depends on the camping gear that you get. So later in my ultimate Coachella guide, we're gonna get into Coachella car camping essentials. I'm so excited for that video. I've been preparing for this for like years. Another camping con, it relates to it being really hot, but you're gonna have to buy ice for your food, so the ice just keeps melting and melting and melting. Again, it depends on your strategy and what you bring, so we will get into that in another video. Another con is having to pack up come Monday morning, or some people do leave Sunday night after the festival ends around midnight, but whatever you put up, you're gonna have to take down, so that kind of sucks. Another con is you could have noisy neighbors. So I mean, there is a curfew, and typically I've never really experienced that where people were just straight up like disrespectful like that. Again, like Coachella camping culture is so real. It's definitely a plur vibe as well. So I think when people have like this conception of Coachella, they think that influencer brand trips and all that, which looks super cool too, but when you're in like the pits, why don't just like when you're in the, okay, I can't think of the word. Oh, the trenches. When you're in the trenches, it's like a really good vibe because everyone is like looking out for each other. I feel that's the experiences I've had. And also I guess it depends where your campsite ends up being. If you end up camping right next to silent disco, it's supposed to be silent, so it's debatable. Another con is limited privacy. So we kind of spoke about that earlier. There's a lot of strangers around. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it. There's a lot of people that you don't know, and you do have to lock up your valuables and stuff like that. But again, Coachella camping culture for me is so real, and I haven't had to run into that issue, but that is a concern and something you should be thinking about. The other famous con is that you don't have a bed, a real comfy, cozy bed to go to. But it's not necessarily a con because again, it depends on what you bring. For me personally, I have a comfy air mattress. I feel right at home. So again, it depends on your setup. And this leads me to my last con, which is you need to buy camping gear. But it's not really a con if you know you're gonna go each year, or if you can borrow camping gear from someone, or you already are a camper so you have the gear itself. And I think instead it's almost like you're investing in the camping gear to have for whatever situation, you know, whether you want a Coachella camp every year, like you're locked in like me, or if you just want to go and camp at like Joshua Tree or Yosemite or something. That is like the cost alone of, I feel, the Airbnb or hotel situation. So okay, so I don't know anyone who's done like Coachella Hotel, but I went ahead and looked it up, and I did Friday through Monday, and let's take a look. So it looks exponentially more expensive, if that's the right word, but yeah, it's a big chunk of change. Wow. So the conclusion we came to is that neither is better than the other. No, but for real, car camping might be the right choice if you're looking for a budget-friendly, immersive, community-based, and adventurous festival experience, and you don't mind the lack of comfort and privacy. And you're gonna get a little down and dirty, but I feel like that's a part of it. So that could be the better option, or getting an Airbnb or hotel might be a better option if you prioritize comfort, privacy, convenience, and you're willing to pay a little bit more for that comfort and a potentially quieter, more relaxed environment, like in comparison to the chaos of camp life, and a more luxurious stay. I hope I didn't sound biased. Let me know, did I? Comment below, are you a Coachella car camping person, or are you a Coachella Airbnb person? And let me know if I missed any pros and cons to either or, and let me know your experience. Like if you've had a blast doing the Airbnb and you can't wait to do it every year with your friends, you know, or if you had a super awesome experience camping and what that was like. So let me know, let's take a poll. Stay tuned for part 3 of my ultimate Coachella guide. You're not gonna wanna miss it. We're gonna go over Coachella essentials. So basically everything you're gonna wanna bring inside the actual event. And it's gonna be loaded with pro tips. So, and as always, like, comment, and subscribe if you like the vibes. And thanks for vibing with us. Also, EP.